Hello, my name is Daria, and today I will talk about my life so far. First, I will start by saying how was before I was born and how my parents met. So, my parents were born, both of them, in the 60s. On that time, in our country, things started to get a little worse due to the introduction of communism. But after the 20 years, approximately 20 years, almost at the end of the 80s, we managed to end communism, and in that time also my parents was a time when my parents have met. My mother was studying medicine at that time and my dad was studying engineering. My grandparents, they were kind of opposing this marriage because they were too young and they didn't finish university, but they eventually got married and they are still living together happily. After they got married, my mom, shortly after, she gave birth to me and then my other two little brothers. I was born in 1992, and following up in the 93 my first brother, and then after the second one in 98. The weird and sad part about my when I was born is that when my mom was giving birth to me, her father, which is my grandfather, died of a heart attack in that same time. So therefore my parents gave the name Daria to me, which in Romanian dar means gift, and they thought that I'm a gift from God by hiding the sadness of my granddad's death. Moving on to my preschool years, I remember I was a pretty quiet girl who since a very young age loved to scribble. Despite my quietness towards other people, I was very loud with my family. We lived in a big house together with my aunt and uncle, and I remember playing with my cousin a lot. We also went to the same preschool together, so it was like my best friend back then. Because I was shy in preschool, I was always sticking to my cousin. After that, once I started in elementary school, I got to know more kids that are my age and got to make friends. Since in that time we didn't used to have phones and computers, we were always playing out with toys, doing homework together, or watching our favorite animation show. My favorite one is a classic now, and it is called, maybe a lot of people know already about it. That is called Dragon Ball Z or Pokemon, for example. Anyway, being surrounded by boys, I grew up as a tomboy. I remember we used to collect Pokemon cards and buy fake gun toys and play with them. After that, in middle school, me, my cousin, and my friends I made in elementary school got in the same class together. In that period, mobile phones started to appear on the market and computers got better and more affordable. So our school introduced programming as a class, and all we used to do in the breaks was to play racing games that were very popular at that time. In my last year of elementary school, I also got my first boyfriend. After that, we still remained as friends for some time. Since my hobby was drawing and painting, me and my mother decided to go to high school of visual arts. It was also when I first got to study outside my city, also leaving my old friends behind and start a new beginning. It was a very nice experience and got to follow what I always wanted, which is drawing. My teacher in high school always told me I have a great talent and that I should go into pursuing a career. But it was at that time when I met my two best friends that introduced me to K-pop and Korean culture. So their passion got me also into falling in love with it. Due to my new passion, K-pop and drama, me and my best friend both went to study English and Korean language in university. That was when I got the opportunity to get a scholarship to study Korean in Korea for 1 semester. So I applied and got it. There I got to make friends for life and made many great memories together. Eventually I was supposed to stay 1 semester, but I ended up staying for 3 semesters. And also during the vacations I got to have some part-time working in a hostel. After that I went back home and I closed my studies in the university that I studied before. And so then I decided to go back to Korea and start university in here. It was a very long process and had to go through several interviews and write several essays, but eventually I got in. In 2015, I first entered with the scholarship, and I got to study Korean language at a more advanced level. And during 1 year, we, together with my new friends, we prepared to enter the universities we chose. My university was Yonsei. After we ended the language program, I got to move out to Yonsei campus. At first, I didn't know that we have to stay in Songdo in Incheon. It was a little bit inconvenient because my friends that I did, my close friends, were all living in Seoul, and it was and it is kind of hard to meet them. But eventually, I got used to it, and I enjoy the food. I enjoy the nice and warm people that are here, and the students are very helpful towards foreigners. As for my future, I intend to finish my studies successfully at Yonsei, and hopefully I can get an internship related to my major, which is political science. After these 4 years, I also intend to apply for master's degree, but this time I would choose a different country. Also, helping my family after I get a job is my main priority. After that, I'm planning to go on a trip around the world and visit my favorite countries. My plans tend to change often, so I'm always open for new experience to make me grow from them. Basically, that's my life so far, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for your listening. Goodbye.